moment, Brody. We'll walk you through the action as all 10 players are more than obliged to join the lobby. Apocalypse Hardpoint is where we start off this tango. Can XPE take a map off of UMD, or will the dominance continue versus anybody else that's not named TLE?
Yeah, I mean, this is the big question for me. I think, right, XP, they look a lot better coming into today. Are they going to be better on the whole? And so far, so good. They start off on the better side of the map here. This indicates, of course, that Apocalypse was not their pick. So Unmythic Dream will be confident coming in here into this map number 1. But Legacy already starting off strong. Couple of kills for him, couple of kills for Rehan here. And across the board, XP holding those back spawns strong at the moment. They get the first move of time on P1.
Yep. Starting off on the favorite side too, XPE, they will at least have that luxury to get players in position around maps, trying to keep everybody at a tight 19's distance, but they did lose their initial player watching that cross, and that means that Shisui, the player that we highlighted quite wonderfully a bit yesterday, and even in the preamble for the series, Brody, to potentially find further impact. He will be the tip of the spear all the way through the ruins, and it sets up a pinch on the opposite side here for Indra to be able to upset the P2 spawns, but XPE more than aware of it, trying to get the back in their favor, scrambling all over the place.
Yeah, now looking to try and flip up those back spawns, though. Noisy does get through. He should get found out here by XP. They send 3 players over the back line, and that alleviates a lot of pressure for the front. Shisui brings out the Predator missile now, and now you're starting to see Unmythic Dream fight this one from the front. Back spawn still good for XPE. Fabuloso, attempting flank play. Puedo's down, and Coldest and Fabuloso, they do hold. That was shaky boy hours for XPE. Unmythic Dream not able to hold.
Still got these sticky spawns to be worried about. A lot of time left here, and while Noisy and tried to keep his life, it mostly comes down for his teammates to find value in towards the front, of which they do through the hop-up, but just as we were talking from one player's perspective to be able to play those sticky spawns for Noisy, he gets gunned, and on the opposite side over by the gold bars, there's XPE again, just reinserting themselves in towards the fight, keeping things scrappy and making sure that UMD stay rather honest, but this is where you got to start thinking about the rotation over towards New. Shisui will be that player on route for Unmythic Dream. It's all by his lonesome at this moment in time, and he's got really good trust that his teammates are cleaning up things over by the old time.
XP in a good position here. They have control of the rotation. 4 ops in the back pocket. One's going to come out to play. Legacy through the middle of the map here. Pueda's going to follow up with Tempest of his own. Legacy's going to find one, though, with the Sparrow, and, well, he will end up going down. That is a posthumous kill. Teammates now starting off, but nobody is watching those back spawns, so XP now going to have to deal with the pressure coming from the back line. A little reposition from Coldest to deal with players coming all the way around the backside, and that's going to round Shisui from the top with 2 with the equalizer. Shisui burning through absolutely everybody. Going to go down by way of Rehan. So back towards the hard point here. Unmythic Dream going to have to take him out of the play, and that's exactly what Noisy does with the War Machine, but nonetheless here proper. Unmythic Dream looking for the back 30 seconds. They should be good to get it. This is dangerous here for XP in terms of that rotation.
Death Machines, War Machines being traded on both these two sides. Rehan does have an operator available, doesn't feel the necessity to use it, so maybe try to keep all of UMD trapped under the backside of the useless spawns. Might not need it until the rotation over towards that P4 area, but a great turn of events coming through from XPE. They still trail only by 20 points or so. They are still struggling on this rotation, bro. You just be able to find these key power positions. A lot of isolated plays, so they're starting to get away with highway robbery. Rehan's able to find himself too, one of which sets up Coldest to clean up the third, but there's still no space. Luckily enough for them, UMD still spawning on the backside of Useless, but the setup's still not there in my opinion.
Oh, Legacy able to put some team shots into the third player there. Good for the second kill. Indra's going to take him out of the play. So, Unmythic Dream looking to keep stragglers in the play, turn the heads of XPE. Indra's still not activated. Will actually finally do so for a couple of kills towards the hard point. Noisy able to take UG down. And now Unmythic Dream breaking through the front here. Something you rarely see. Unmythic Dream fighting this one from the front. Splits comes through from Rehan towards the hard point. Will that disrupt things? He hasn't managed to find a way to be effective just yet. Shisui and Noisy going to find some kills here. Rehan not able to do anything, and now we set ourselves with a much more standard setup. XP trying to smoke their way out of the post box. It's just not happening, and now this is Unmythic Dream really starting to put their foot down in this game here proper. They are going to be basically double the points of XP going into the second set.
This came down to, again, the lack thereof setup. P4, again, finding a lot of good transitional gunfights, but where was the space? Where were players playing inside a chicken coop and maybe trying to play the cross outside of said power position to really make the funnel be that much more damaging leading in towards P4, but they allowed Unmythic Dream an avenue all the way through and all of the operators in tow. The At least resource advantage was immediately thrown out of the window going back in towards P1, but you're quite content with this if you are on Mythic Dream. 50-plus point lead going in towards the second. Noisy running here with the War Machine pulls out their third. Gonna be able to have that luxury. Should be back online for around P2, but a great first set of hills out of UMD.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Mythic Dream. Really good position for them now. XP will want to find a way back in towards this game. They've got a fair bit of util to work with in terms of trying to make sure they do hold on the right side of the map. Last time around, though, they ended up giving up that back temple pressure and around the front of the hard point got pushed through momentarily. Cannot allow the same thing to happen once again here. Indra in towards scrap time, though. Mythic Dream now looking to deal with Shisui, who has the equals out to try and carve a path for the rest of the team, but you're losing teammates in this situation. Shisui, now the last one left alive, needs to be the hero for the squad. Good for the first. Back spawns now flipping in favor of Mythic Dream. Shisui only going to find one there with the equals, and you're losing the players towards the back. You got gifted the spawns. Shisui now the last one left alive, and he goes down. Equals now out for Rihan. XP, a good opportunity to come back in this game.
Fabuloso's up on 5 now for this spree. Finds the back 2 there with the Predator missile, and now for XPE trying to find that space a little bit further forward. It's a little bit too late, and they didn't really have the setup to be able to find those kills. UMD are starting to wipe the floor with them. Still 30 seconds left here on P2, Brody, and the last player alive is Rihan in towards the back. He's going to take down Puedes, who ends up ripping their operator, but doesn't find all too much there with the Tempest. But it's still so much space now for Rihan to go on a 6 spree. Predator Missile is going to reveal everybody still on the backside of the temple. That Predator Missile is only going to be able to find so much. It is good entry damage, but XPE able to turn that into a good chunk of time until Shisui finds 3 off the respawn block. That's 5 seconds secured for UMD, but XPE kept things rather interesting. They still trail by 30.
Yeah, that is a important hard point for XP, albeit they do not manage to hold the entirety of the time, which will be disappointing for them considering how Apocalypse P2 is supposed to play out. They will at the very least close the deficit by a little bit and draw out a couple of ops from Mythic Dream. And towards the next hard point we go. UMD trying to fight this one from the front. UG and Fabuloso combined for 3. Legacy now trying to hit a route through the front of the hard point. Looking to get the kills with a BMP. Shoot the smoke. You're not going to find a second kill. Indra on the other side with the Death Machine. Now looking to move forward here. Has to hit the jump up for the kill on towards UG. Never mind. UG reveals himself. But Indra still on his lonesome here. Indra trying to burn through. Runs out of DM bullets at the wrong time. Fortunately has the help of his teammates. UMG fighting this one from the front, and they are holding effectively.
Can they find a more effectiveness on the back of this 20 seconds? Here's Noisy now with that War Machine, like I was talking about. And 4P2 was not there, but on the exit of P3, does find some tags. Not space, though. UG for 2. Noisy Indra able to find 2 in response. Still got these back useless spawns. It's ever so sticky for XPE. Do you want to even be here? UMD don't really seem like they're fully aware of the players that might already be around P4. Indra's the first to slide in. There's no follow-up. As XPE are able to find 2. Now the spawns have flipped. Can XPE recognize this and set themselves up for a good chunk of time because they need it?
Yeah, they certainly have. You can always tell Rihan definitely made the calls of the teammates there that the spawns have flipped. Unfortunately, they're not finding the follow-up kills. Legacy, no! Will burn through them. Posthumous kill for the 4th. He wipes 4 off the board and will give XP the hold they need for the moment. Now UMD trying to make their way through. Double investment coming out for Claw and the Tempest. The latter is down. Claw now next one through. Cold is going to burn through players with the DM. The Claw still in the play, by the way, but Dakota can't do anything. He's being held in towards that backline. Now finally we'll push in. Coldest on the hunt for more kills. The Claw of Dakota doesn't go anywhere, and Coldest sends players running away. One back towards the hard point. Shisui going to go down, but Mythic Dream trying to make their way out of post box now. Things much more normal. XP, look at the back 10 seconds. Last little flanking play being made here by Indra, and Coldest and UG will take all of those players out of the play. XPE, good for the hold. Now they are basically neck and neck going here in the third and final set.
The Death Machine didn't really find much of any value whatsoever besides its presence on the map. It's the sheer pressure that keeps UMD away and just kind of lurking around these narrow choke points where XP were able to clean things up and lock away the last little bit of chunk time there on P4 and thus keeping things interesting. It's still a 12-point deficit. She's sweet. Down here underneath the bridge, equalizers have been popped. Has really been struggling to find value with them all of this game, but the timing is so good out on the backside of P3 and he's still alive.
Shisui trying to push forward. Equals gonna get shut down. Immediate investment coming out from Puedas here, just trying to get some kind of control over the middle of the map. But unfortunately, you get, well, I don't know if you get any kills there. You're going to lose the follow-ups from XP, and now going to be fighting tooth and nail for 25 seconds of scrap time. The aim, of course, at the moment, just push XP as far back as possible. Puedas finds a couple through the smoke. Dakota follows up another one. Looking at the jump down for the kill on towards Legacy. The drop shot, good for the kill. And XPE losing all of these fights. Proper Unmythic Dream. They can't finish things here, but as far as pushing XP back is concerned, they're doing it to great success.
Puedas with the Tempest, gonna start looking for these close-range gunfights and anything to be able to turn the tides for the XPE roster. Because like you said, UMD within striking distance on the back of P1. 2 seconds in P2 will pop. And UMD, again, only need just a handful of more seconds. Noisy has the War Machine ready to meet them at the gates.
Here we go. War Machine. Already out from Noisy. Fabuloso around the back line as well. Oh, Noisy is going to win that fight. Never mind, it's Shisui who actually gets that gunfight. It is a yellow kill through from Unmythic Dream. XPE pushing through the front of the hard point. They're looking for some kind of contest. Codm, all he's got to do is just make sure he pre-fires through that window. Actually drawing first blood, of course. The 1 versus 4 in that second round really did pull XPE through. And I'm curious to see now. You've got a much more proficient sniper on the other side. Puedas was snapping yesterday. What do you do when you are maybe not going to win those opening snipes? What do XPE look like? We'll have to start this one. Opening util going out. Double trophy system set up down already in towards B for Unmythic Dream. They've got themselves already, all the tents have been set up. They've got themselves ready to go for an immediate push towards B.
Nate's going to cover at least the elbow area there that was thrown by Puedas across the A lane. I don't think he knows that Fabuloso with the sniper is still encroaching on that area. Here comes that B execute. Rihan's going to be able to find that first blood, and they can see the space for now.
Opening gunfights here. UG with the HSO. Finding a lot of space. Noisy still over by B. The problem is once you lose control of that B long, retaking it is very difficult to do. Nade in towards the site. No trophy to catch it. It doesn't land though, so it doesn't make a difference. Now 4 versus 3. Is anybody watching up top for Noisy? Unmythic Dream approaching this from 3 different angles. Noisy flanked by Fabuloso towards the middle of the map. Shisui takes Colis out of the play. Flanking play from Puedas. Needs to be fast here. Should be able to catch Fabuloso off guard, and he will. So now 2 versus 2. XPE, they should know where both of these players are coming from. And Puedas snaps on towards Legacy. Now just down to the 1 versus 2 for UG. HSO good for the first. Slide out 1 versus 1 for UG. And he will take it. XPE, they will hold that bomb site.
We got an HSO versus quick scopes, and more often than not, you feel like the slide challenge, unless it gets cut up short, probably would win more often than not. A massive moment for UG. Has the bomb checks. Just can't allow them to be able to get on that bomb site as free as they did. This opening salvo was enough to showcase all of that. Got that A-lane defender offensive timing that they're still kind of searching for. The alarm bells would be what Rihan finds. He does get stunned up over by the main stairs, and that confirms that there's just one bit of utility being thrown for the A side. Is that enough? What they saw from the other side out from XPE to give it up for now and try over towards this A bomb? Seems that the answer is yes. She's sweet. He will join his defensive friend for this onslaught that's about to incur.
There's a lot of noise being made here by XP. Oh, Puedas, which the opening snipe goes back for seconds, and he gets it this time around. How many more for Puedas? Oh, gets a second on towards Fabuloso. Trades in favor, though, of Unmythic Dream. And Rihan and Yuji have pushed up. The problem now for them in this 2 versus 4 is that the bomb is down on the site. They've got no choice but to push in. Rihan looking for something. Easy kill on towards the cross. Noisy, free pickings. Yuzi also picking up Indra now. Down to a 2 versus 2. The flanking player has been dealt with. All of the pressure now on the other side of the site.
And don't give him the second time to be able to go for that jump towel. Still got to recover the bomb, though. It's the biggest issue for XPE. Yuji, Rihan. Got to start making the play happen.
They have the bomb.
Shisui is taking the gambit off of what Dakota can find for time. He gets the audio cue.
Heard it.
Oh, yeah. So free.
Nice play. Nice play. And now you're looking at that flanking player coming through from Shisui. Rihan has spotted out one. He's getting shot from behind, though. Rihan weak, and Shisui is going to close things out with the VMP. The round is done. Unmythic Dream, they make it work.
And they sure do. Just by being very, very patient. And I think going forward, that A push might be looked at ever so slightly, that we need to do it quick or we're just not going to do it at all. got to be able to cover everything that could be happening on the backside of that truck. Mid push this time around out of XPE. This is egregious. All the way through the window is the bomb carrier for Legacy looking for that first blood. He's got the VMP. Oh, and Dakota just unaware of it entirely. Freest first blood I've ever seen.
And there's going to be trades. UG brings us back down to a 4 versus 3. Aggression coming up from Puedas here. Thought that maybe he could stop those guys. And now Shisui from the middle of the map is going to pick up 2. Makes things awkward for XPE. Puedas already has the information. He just needs to act on it. Puedas, please hit a shot. Please hit a shot. Oh, no. Oh, God. Embarrassing. Bit of a fumble there. Now brings us down to a 2 versus 2. Last time if Dream players here split.
Yeah, that's crazy. We don't really see that happening from Puedas all too often, but gonna be able to enact something off of that now. Comes XPE, bomb being planted. Noisy looking for the exits. Timing is awful. Misses, throws away his shot. Now they should be more than aware of where it's coming from. Tangs Rihan in the rear on that cross. He's got time to try to make this work, Brody. He's just got to land the shots.
And Noisy going up so far through the first 3 rounds. Oh, perfect hit. Rihan, freebie. Legacy, finally going to turn around here. 15 seconds left. Noisy has time to make this one work, but he's full sprinting. Legacy should hear this. Never mind. Doesn't have his headphones cranked up. Noisy, shot's not that great, but good enough for the 1 versus 2. Takes a freebie on towards Rihan. Has well enough time, I believe, to get this defused through. Yes, he does. And Noisy, cheeky 1 versus 2 here in round 3.
It was like 5.5 seconds in towards the clear. We only get the whole second. We don't get to see tenths and milliseconds here on this show. But still,
defend the objectives.
Able to lock away the 1v2. It's just, I mean, I hate to really sit here and say as simplistic as it was, but you just can't isolate yourselves like that. This is how easy it was. Be able to land some quick scopes to the LW3 Tundra. And now UMD got themselves that 1 round lead off of losing the initial. The aggression from the middle of the map shut down out of XPE. It was the B push initially. It was the only thing that they found success with. And they're still flirting with A. Shisui is here. Gave up the timing inside of elbow for some odd reason. Wasn't a fan of it. But UMD is still completely okay with giving up this much space inside of mid because they're hunkered down on both the sides.
Usually trying to be tip of the split. Making a lot of noise here with the jump up. Shisui knows. Just ready to take a freebie. You've lost Fabuloso in the play now. Shisui just trying to make matters worse for XPE. Yuji, surely seen him at this point. Yuji, all right, little shot in towards Shisui. He's very weak here in the play. Has to play his life elsewhere. Bomb down. Shisui pops his head up, finally able to get something. And you know where Yuji is. He is very dead. Have to try and Scarpa. Gets the kill with the HSO. Nice little exit frag. This would be for the 1v5. Tell you what, to be fair, if anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be HSO. The problem is these guys, they're not going to give it free.
Yeah. No, you'd imagine that these players that are alive for Unmythic Dream will not be overly isolating themselves. VMP at range, not the laser beam that used to be the USS-9, let me tell you that. But still, a massive round for UMD. They just have the reads. They get the nade stuns early. XPE can't find any value off of it. The trophies are in proper positions to deny any space out of XPE. And then their reactions, their rebuttals, non-existent. So here it comes as an immediate rebuttal in towards what is round number 5. Just hard hit over towards A forehead. Let's run.
Let's do it. A lot of util being thrown their way, though. UMD, are they ready for this push? Can they brace for it? Puedas now hitting the shots. Puedas not missing for the second, looking for the third. Rihan giving a couple of looks. He's going to find one on the exit. And now UMD starting to close in on the players. Rihan looking for the reposition hit. 1 minute 20 on the clock. UMD have time for the reposition, and every little bit of micro movement that Rihan makes is information. And now the vice has been closed, and Rihan's life is over.
Yep, sure is. 4-1 now for the half, and just as what was dominant for XPE over Rejects there on the Kurahana Metropolis, 5-1 half was there. It's starting to look like the shoe is simply on the other foot. XPE won the initial round. 4 on the bounce, Brody, is here for UMD, looking to stamp their way in towards a commanding lower finals win. Here comes another heavy hit over towards B, immediately shut down for the first blood. It's just so easy to read for Unmythic Dream, and they can just play the trade game. Just put them to rest.
I don't even know how you analyze that round. You're blinking, you miss it. Unmythic Dream, they win the opening trades. XP, not a chance. The anti-Kurahana round. How about that one? For the final round of defense for Unmythic Dream. We switch over now, and UMD can now start to set the pace in towards this one. They know that Fabuloso is more likely than not going to be the player down a long. They'll have done the bot. 3 nades coming Fabuloso's way. Only one will connect, but that is all the information that they need. They know that somebody's over here. Not going to act fast enough to take Fabuloso out of the play, but they will act fast enough to get towards the site. Never mind, Fabuloso good for the first. Trades in from Indra. Dakota now trying to take space around the back of the site. Traded on out. And Unmythic Dream, for all of this push proper, they actually don't have that much in the way of map control.
No, they really don't. Look at the bomb is dropped on the backside of the truck. Indra, he's hoping for the timing. UG is here. HSO shotgun. I think Indra might be aware of that too, just trying to hold the space. You have no idea where the HSO player is located at. The problem is you're buying time for your teammate Ashisui, who's had 10 kills to maybe get activated through the middle of the map. He's going to get timing versus legacy. There's a beautiful shot where that bomb is pancaked. That somebody has to make a move as we're sub 60.
Yeah, you got to go grab that bomb. Need to make a hell of a gambit for it. Indra, of course, can't sprint. He can't slide here. Any bit of movement will give away his positioning. Of course, XP do, technically speaking, know that they don't have any site control beyond where the bomb is. So they're more likely than not know somebody is here. Of course, around the middle of the map as well. Shisui, lot to do. He's going to get cut down by Legacy, and now it makes things so difficult for Indra. Will only find one. UG takes him out of the play, and, well, it's a hell of a gambit for Unmythic Dream at the start of the round. The aggression just doesn't work.
Nope, it does not. I mean, they were flying so quickly. They got all into the backside of that truck that I don't even think they realized that they didn't have a sniper watching the defender cross. Very easy setup for XPE to be able to win the initial round here on defense, and they're going to need a whole lot more of that and hope that UMD continue to scam more rounds away. Doesn't seem that they're going to be offering this one. Aggression over towards this B-side area. Noisy is just going to eat a couple of nades here. Nobody's going to push off. Rihan was holding that, just hoping for the cross to be peeked up. Noisy's going to get first blooded.
Well, Unmythic Dream are getting aggressive in these rounds proper. They're just not winning the opening fight. XP looking solid on defense. And now Unmythic Dream looking for a 3B or 2. Not going to get it. Puedas misses the snipe on towards Rihan. Now XPE have even more numbers in their favor. At the very least, the good news for Unmythic Dream here, they technically speaking have bomb. The problem is in a 3 versus 5, it is exceedingly difficult to get any map control whatsoever. You are being oppressed, and it gets worse as well. Fabuloso pushes up. Shisui just isn't ready for it.
Nope. Why would you be? Numbers sufficiently here. You're just going to start swarming in towards space. Yeah, Indra, nowhere to go, and he's going to get crossed up by UG's machine pistol. Dakota, 1v5, ace clutch here to get up towards map point seems quite literally impossible. When you got 30 seconds left, you're on the other side of the planet when it comes down where the bomb's located at. This is going to be an XPE third round, at least on the board. Might be able to walk away with a constellation kill, but it's just, yeah, it's just too many angles, not enough time. Nice shot, though, on the Legacy. Had a good look there for on the UG, but won't be able to walk away with it. And it wasn't even aggression that time around, Brody. They were just kind of lingering around their mid-stairs over towards elbow. The nades just continued to connect and slow peeking to try to find a trade. I'm not going to lie, never really works out.
Yeah, it feels like right now Unmythic Dream is struggling to figure out how to play this offense. How about through the middle of the map? Let's see if this one works out. 3 push through the mid cut. UG sees it, backs the hell up, not going to win the fight regardless. Rihan taking another play, one more player to the left, and Legacy also dealt with it. Puedas for 3, finishes things off with the melee. The prize fighters for the final kill. That is one way to get site control.
Yeah, sure is. I mean, hey, if it doesn't work the first 2 times, might as well try it again. This time they just push all the way through the elbow, underneath the nades. They get the entire site control, and they got the numbers advantage to boot. Coldest, Indra, trying to find that elimination, wants to hold the HP advantage that they have, just not wanting to scam this round away.
Just going to separate out one player from the plate. Try and force the issue here. 15 seconds left, though. That's a big gambit to take. Fabuloso poking and prodding at the site. They will get some good timing here. Even if they don't, it's difficult for Fabuloso. A multitude of ways to look. The hit marker of the HSO is unfortunate. Unmythic Dream It took them 3 rounds. It looks like they finally cracked the code on these offenses.
Yep, maybe, but you know what's going to be able to shut down an aggressive hit all the way in towards that B bombs, like Brody. Just better nades and better stuns. You can land right around in front of the corner before the trophy system has a chance to nab it. And there comes the stack out of XP to try to deny it over towards B. Nades get thrown through ceremoniously. UMD not aware of this. They're just going for broke to try to get over towards A. How many numbers just got scouted out by Fabuloso? He does get away towards the refuge, and now here come the reinforcements to the defender spawn.
And this time XP do not load the defense up. Puedes and Dakota really starting to feel themselves now. Flank has been perfectly read. You're in trouble if you're Legacy. You somehow walk away with that fight here. And we'll be able to get the regen. OMD aren't being over aggressive. UG is though, straight towards the site. Good, brings us down to a 2 versus 2. This would be a 2 versus 4 for XP. Individual 1 versus 1s. Legacy wins his. Puedes has already been found out, and UG for the slide to close out the round. How on earth has that happened for XP?
A brilliant retake there. It's just all off the information. Fabuloso was able to get the cross. You know that elimination needed to come through as quick as the nameplate was sought out for UMD. I don't even know who the first one was to swing that corner. It was probably Shisui. That guy is just absolutely got his trainers on, but he's yet to find a kill this side, Brody. He's still lingering around 10 eliminations. Puedes gets up towards 14. Aggression being shut down again, just where you thought UMD cracked the code.
Nade out. Flies past UMD. XP pushed all the way back. This happened last time, though. They managed to make the retake happen. This time, UMD are waiting patiently for the kills before getting over aggressive. Puedes has just looked towards the backline. 14 kills to his name, mind you. Something we haven't really touched on that much in this search and destroy thus far. UMD finally going to get it done, though. Flanking play being put together by XPE. Keep an eye out for Legacy. Big 1 versus 1. Indra, though, read it perfectly. And now you've got numbers with a collapse on the way. It is on the horizon. XP looking to try and get back in. Coldest. Pokes and prods. Puedes down for the count. Now down to the 4 versus 4 with 30 seconds left. Dakota, you are just waiting patiently for somebody to hit the corner. He doesn't get the kill. Noisy will towards the back line. Indra down to the count. Finally, Dakota switches towards the pistol. Sweetie is there for the kill. Rehan for the 1v3. It's not going to happen. Holding the angles. UMD finally get it done, and they will take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, you just feel like...
Bring that into the respawn, right? You know, get that Tundra in the middle of the map. It would be a constant nuisance for XP. On the other side, and already I'm getting my answer, Rehan is doing exactly that. Sniper rifle off the start here. You know how much mid-map pressure is going to make a lot of difference here on this map, and it does exactly that off the start. Opening sniper out for Rehan. Beautiful. Puedes running straight down in the middle of the map, though, wants to cause some carnage for the players that do move forward. Just try and be a nuisance, and he is... Well, he's absolutely exacting that. First couple of kills already through here. Players in towards A building. Good for XPE, but Unmythic Dream, they are swarming. Puedes for 2. Shisui now just looking to deal with Legacy, but there's still players hanging about.
Yeah, he dropped 14 eliminations in that map number 1, and he will be the tip of the spear to try to create a little bit more space forward for the defensive team off of winning the opening break-off. It's just a single life lead that UMD do have over XPE's head, but off of that kill will be Legacy. Getting himself over towards the zone now is Fabuloso. He's not here alone. Got deli control now for Shisui, trying to get past over towards that bus stop area. That's that crossfire that I was talking about. And they're trying to re-enter themselves in towards this fight, and XPE are working on that second segment.
XPT already through. Got to give this one up if you're on Mythic Dream. Indra, last little flanking play to try and keep this play alive. You're going to find one with the machine pistol. Second kill good for Legacy, though. So that should be the point done and dusted here. 5 life difference between these teams as well. XP looking pretty caught. Puedes trying to poke and prod, stop things on the offense. The issue here for XP, or for Unmythic Dream, excuse me, is XP have players pushed all the way through. Legacy was one of those players. He's going to get shut down. Now looking to try and play this one. UG down for the count. Second player potentially cleared in this moment. Puedes, jump shot, good for the kill in the end. Now looking to move up. He's going to get cut down. XP continue to send reinforcement after reinforcement towards the point. Fabuloso, good for a second. And now they can start to rain hellfire on towards B.
And they sure can. Got that presence to be able to push themselves past bus stop. The corner needs to be checked, though. Watch out for player number 3 is Fabuloso. He's got the HSO shotgun. He actually gives away his life a little bit early. Is going to be Coldest. It sets up wonderfully for the collapse, but they don't have enough respawns to be able to play the CDM, Brody.
And 6 versus 2. Looks like XP might have done enough here to win this on lives. Dakota trying to keep the conversation hot at least. Players on the point. Gets shut down by Fabuloso. Now just down to Noisy with the Tundra. If any weapon could, it's probably going to be the Tundra, but you got to stop the ticks from going their way. Noisy Gets gifted a second. Now the 1 versus 3. Multitude of ways to look, and it's just too much for Noisy. He can't get it done. XPE, how about that for a start here on Crossfire Control? They get the offensive win.
I just don't like their re-entry out of Unmythic Dream to try to get back in towards that already A control zone. I mean, they've lost out on the trades, and then the moment that you got 3 players stacked on towards that zone, you just set yourself up for utter failure. Fabuloso is going to rip the War Machine, as ceremonious as it is here for control rounds. Going in towards the second, they will have that luxury off of winning the first.
Okay. Immediate util coming out here from both teams. War Machine from Noisy. What's it going to get you? Already 1 kill to his name. Now looking to try and deal with the players that are getting past. Legacy would be a nice one to take down, and he does. Legacy, of course, got a couple of kills with the Sparrow beforehand. Now Noisy looking for more value. Going to find it. Trying to create a lot of space. And while all that's happening here, the second tick is already through on towards A. UG. Can he go for a last-minute save? Now he's just playing for exit frags instead. With a couple of bullets with the Tempest. More kills being found out here by UMD as well. So this has been a pretty phenomenal start on the whole for UMD. They're still doing the players full sending themselves towards the point here proper, but is it a blue feed? I think XP might have overreached here.
Yeah, I think they might have, because I mean, now you're going to be swinging this life lead. Just what was so good for XPE might have been feeling themselves just a little bit too much, but luckily enough, they rectify what could have gone really situationally out of hand. Coldest. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, we caught that one live. Not too sure how many family-friendly monitors that needs to reach, but golly, what a turn and burn there with the machine pistol. Pocket SMG, as we like to coin it here, but no bus stop control off of that 3-4 dead, so UMD gonna have to do it the hard way, and just as soon as I talk about it, they're doing it.
Hey, UMD really starting to push their way up the map here. Do you want to invest at this point? You're in a 17v10. You don't necessarily need to. Fabuloso trying to play Overwatch with a sniper rifle. Jisui gonna have to get off the point here now as you lose your teammates. That's unfortunate. That is a full yellow feed for XPE. Now they can start to regain some modicum of back control here. Life differential now just down to 3 between these two teams. XP trying to find a way up the map. Rihan, couple of kills to his name. Legacy watching the close door. UMD looking to push up here. Legacy gets tagged. Going to have to back up in towards the corner. Util going out to try and push Legacy out of the play, but there's now double trophy set up down to stop that Util from going through. Legacy out of the play regardless. Now 8 versus 6 in terms of lives proper. 55 seconds on the clock here, and UMD, they're going to slow a little bit down, especially as more kills come through.
You can see the hesitation, especially out of UMD. They do not want to give up any more lives, but it's their hesitation that might be their downfall. Trying to find an opening. Fabuloso has the paper plane to push them up further forward. They're just trying to play the trades, now 5v4.
Got numbers for XP to close out this round. Things were looking so positive at one point for UMD. They just have not been able to capitalize whatsoever on the map control that they had. Still possible. Two kills coming through now. Now making it 2 versus 3. Towards the point you lose Puedas, and of course Indra's already made a bit of noise. You do have a DM in the back pocket. The Green Goblin Mask is calling. Do you want to pull it out in this situation? Maybe you don't need to. Machine pistol good for the first. Last couple of players are isolated away from one another, but I don't know if he's aware of Legacy's position. He was not. Legacy makes that positioning known, and it is another round here for XPE.
Yeah. Being able to flip that life lead again, it's just these very small moments. Like UMD were able to revert the pressure. They were able to capture over towards that A zone. But XPE found that handful of kills on rotation over towards the bus stop area, and that's all they really needed. Not to overextend once again, righting the wrongs of what happened to lose that captured zone. Now we go in towards what could be the final round here for control for XPE to guarantee a map number 4.
And there's all of these kills coming through from Mythic Dream. They really needed a dominant round like this, and that's why you're seeing the triple investment of Ops, but now it's just the Anite left alive in the moment. 6 life differential. They've thrown something like this before. Shisui not allowing that though. He's getting kill after kill coming through on the spawns, and albeit these spawns have changed, it's not as easy to spawn trap teams here on Crossfire. It doesn't look like it the way that Shisui is playing with that Annihilator. Another kill for him, and the life differential, surely this one is insurmountable.
Yeah, it's just looking a little bit too far out of reach, but we have seen things be scammed before. Some would say even inside this very control map. I said that. That was me, actually. Predator Missile getting called in for Shisui should be the nail in the coffin. Equalizer being invested for Legacy. And a 21v11 was the kill margin between these two, or the lives department, excuse me, but You be the decider there in the comment section or even in the chat on whether that was a good call or not. This is all but inevitable to Brody's point. This is where things get scary, though. I mean, Coldus, he's got an operator. UG will have one, plus not only the paper plane, but he will also have a Pred missile going in towards the next round. UMD very much so might be in the driver's seat to swing this into a round 5.
Yeah, I don't know about the utility usage coming out really from XP, even from Unlimited Dreams to a certain extent here. You're in a 2v12 now. It's all the formality at this point. Fabuloso trying to put some nice shots in, give us a clip to work with towards the end of the round. It's not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, you talk about, I think it was Legacy, right, brought out here. It's like we don't necessarily need to be doing that, right? Come out as strong in the next round, save all your util. You can afford to lose a round when you're 2-0 up here on Crossfire control. Now you're in a situation where you have less in ops, at very least, compared to UMD. You have a couple of streaks to work with, though, if you are UG. Straight off the start of this round, I'm a Xtrem trying to make a move forward through the middle of the map. Fabuloso going to push through. Only going to find one. Legacy trying to trade things off. Coldus going to take a player out from the A building. Now Puedas can push them up. Looking for some map control with the Tempest. This is a great utilization of the Tempest play coming through from Puedas, trying to create a lot of space for your team. You're whiffing shots left, right, and center, though, and that is not a good Tempest.
Definitely hoping for a little bit more value than what just we got on our screens, that's for sure. Death Machine now in tow for Coldus. Plenty of bullets left in that hose to make his presence felt. Noisy also has a War Machine on the opposite side in response and finds the kill on the aforementioned DM players. So UMD, I mean, they're trailing in lives currently by 1, but they're still working in the segment. Look at the space.
Yeah, he is gone. It's all about now transitioning. XP, to be fair, last time around, you've got to remember that they actually gave up a lot of space to UMD early on in the transition. They might be doing the same thing again. Puedas has just bullied his way straight in towards B. He's looking for more kills. UG looking to try and get some kills on the cross here. Puedas now the only player to get through, and he's been dealt with simultaneously. UG now starting to heat up with the Tempest over by where A used to be. And slowly, XP, they are clawing their map control back. Coldest for a couple of kills. Puedas, can he do anything through Delhi? No, it's a full yellow feed. And it feels like a map number 4 is starting to beckon.
Starting to be that call. Unless something magical can come out of these last 9 lives for Unmythic Dream. These last 7 lives of Unmythic Dream. Fabuloso, he's got the War Machine already. He can smell the blood in the water. There is time to make this work, but there's just not enough presence. There's not enough space on the map to be able to play for trades.
Now Rehan looking to formalize it. Doesn't he get sniped off? Dakota following up another one, but all of this to say, it does just feel like inevitability at this point, doesn't it? Indra being forced to use his Death Machine in the worst possible position, straight out of the middle of the map. Not entirely sure about that one, Chief, but he's going to get cut down regardless. And now just down to Dakota for what would be one of the most phenomenal plays we've ever seen in the pro Call of Duty mobile circuit. 1v13. Let's do it. Let's do it. Nope, not gonna happen. It is over. XPE take the control. Express ticket to Katowice for the 2025 World Championship. Of course, 3 teams going from North America. It's just about getting as high a seed as humanly possible. And both UMD and XP want to have a good start to World Championships in November. So winning this match is crucial. Winning this map is crucial for XP to keep their hopes and dreams alive.
Well, let's put it this way. If you win this map for UMD, you guarantee yourself at least 2nd seed. That raises your chances to be able to make some impact once we do get to Katowice. But XPE trying to force it into a firing range search and destroy. And, well, if there's any consideration from that opening kill feed and the 2 kills that XPE got from the opening salvo, not a convincing argument so far.
Now, UMT starting very strong on this one. Wanted to see XP flying out of the gate. Shisui trying to put a little route together behind enemy lines. At the moment, he's been kind of useless, going back and forth between P1 and lobby. Back towards the hard point he goes, at the back of his teammates dying. Now looking for the route up top. Shisui going to convert for the double, and already penetrating the backline here is Shisui looking for more. Will be able to play his life back for the slide. Chow and Legacy is going to take him out of the play. So despite that little play call from Shisui, doesn't quite feel about the spawns just yet.
Well, you still got well pressure surmounting now for UMD. Shisui loves himself a good route, and his teammates are able to pick up from where the other places were needed to be gone from. And Shisui off the respawn block immediately finds himself the next 2 kills. He's already up to 7 for crying out loud. P2 just pops. XPE playing their corners ever so wisely. They got players still spawning over inside of the foyer. And it's going to be a scramble to be able to find some numbers, of which UMD finally able to get their numbers in their favor, and they're aware of the driveway spawns.
Yeah, driveway spawns now coming through. Poetis able to get a quick double through the side door. Now 3 players. Indra with the car bomb gets a double. And that's going to be Unmythic Dream holding here for the moment. Now Dakota wanting to push out forward in towards lobby. That's not going to happen. Poetis with a Type 63 beaming down the back line, but towards the point. Players are starting to fall left, right, and center. Xtrem PE now managing to break on through. Still 25 seconds of time worth fighting for. Unmythic Dream, do you want to pop an off here towards this time? Well, Noisy actually does. The War Machine, I don't know if he gets the charge back off the back of that, but regardless, that is an investment coming through from Noisy for Unmythic Dream. It might well work out for the back 10 seconds. Coldest still fighting for the scrap time and does pick up that second gunfight, but still, investment coming out from Unmythic Dream. They wanted that scrap time. They don't get it.
And now look at all the operators that are ready for XPE here on the rotation. They might need it as well. Equalizer, Sparrow for Legacy. And here comes Fabuloso there for the triage of the War Machine now. Gotta be able to find value here because it's a 40-point deficit off of just the opening first 2 hills. And if you remember going back to that APOC map number 1, Brody, it was that quick lead that came through in the first set that just became insurmountable at the end.
XP want to get a lot of time here. Smokes down, as there always is. Indra and Shisui going to combine for 3, though. Double investment being made from Unmythic Dream as well to get control of this hard point. Noisy trying to get the players off before they can get forward towards the hill. Indra now going to move forward with the Death Machine in towards Tin, looking for more kills. Good for the kill on towards Rehan. Now more players potentially coming past for XPE. They're all coming from that top side. Nobody is watching for Unmythic Dream, and that's going to enable XPE to get players in towards the time. But just as I say, it's 3 blue kills in the feed. It's a full feed for Unmythic Dream, and they once again get the better look of a hard point over XPE.
40-point lead now over towards P4 we go. Pick a corner, any corner. There's still players missing from this setup. Initially, you got UG. He's shooting players in the butt, trying to get over towards this rock hill. It sets up Coldest here with the DM to walk through the open staircase. Legacy gets the information off the Predator missile, and Coldest is absolutely feasting. Finds himself on a 5 spree before he finally gets put down. Dakota answers back with 2. Coldest off the Predator missile should keep things honest over towards this new hill, but still Noisy. Puedes, they find themselves the kills, and they're able to posture on the new time.
Yeah, Coldest actually gets that Predator missile out, and there wasn't even a trophy that stops it. He simply whiffs the players onto the point. So UMD, now a good look. Once again, having to fight back towards the time. Fabuloso trying to hold Noisy for 4 in a row. Has the War Machine back again if he wants it. Of course, overclock is going to mean that he's going to get it pretty much every minute or so. Now towards the time. Claw out from Dakota. How much damage can you do? Nothing. Coldest going to slide him out. Going to leave just 1 on the point. That was Noisy, who is going to get shut down. Does get the Predator missile before he goes. But still, 10 seconds left, and Yuji's actually going to invest the Tempest in towards this scrap time. You can really feel right now, Proper, the way that XPE, they're kind of fighting for as much time as they possibly can get to stay just in contention with Unmythic Dreamer here in this hard point.
Ranked play reactions. I have a resource, gotta use it. I'm in a good position. I can find value with it, but it doesn't really feel like the things are coupling along together that's making these big 50-point swings. Like, literally, the Predator missile gets called in. Puedes now with the Tempest, like, he pushes through the upper hallways in towards the spawns where he finds himself on a 4 spree. And that's just the little bit of type what we're talking about, man. Like, resource being used, space being provided, kills then ringing on through, and look at the lead as it continues to grow.
This is an important hard point. You've got to salvage as much time as humanly possible here. You don't have top side control just yet. This is going to bring that Predator missile down. There's not actually a trophy to prevent it, so that's going to be Coldest isolated in towards that scrap time. And, well, it gets even worse as well as Indra picks up 2 huge gunfights towards the rotation. You're giving scrap time up. You're giving Roto as well. This is the moment, Proper, where things start to look a little bit bleak for XPE. It's a full blue feed. Unmythic Dream now starting to get hot.
The crossfire control was so good. Is this really all you have to offer for XPE here on this championship Sunday? Is this all that you have to walk away with before we start talking about the 2 months in between now and Katowice? Only time will tell. From the inside will be UMD. War Machine for Noisy now in towards the water. Direct impact there onto Legacy, but Rehan's got the equalizers out. He finds himself up to 4, but he's the last player alive. He's able to find himself now up to 5, and now the spawns have flipped for XPE. They'll eclipse triple digits, but they just need a hold.
Rehan playing now very well. 24 kills to his name. Top frag into the squad. Coldest Now going to bring Death Machine out to play. You've got to find some value here. Cole is good for the first. Traded out by Indra. Indra looking to double up. Not going to happen. Rehan will find two. And that is XP holding here for the back 20 seconds of time. No driveway control just yet. UMD able to take a look at the hard point, but it feels a little bit lackluster. Only Noisy finding any value for Unmythic Dream here. Dakota and Paredes trying to find the scrap time. That's not going to happen as Fabuloso looks to hold. And XPE will now be knocking at the door here of UMD. They are just 30 points behind as we go to the chaotic kill that is Fences.
Operators online. She Sweep might be the first one to pull things out. Puedes does have a Tempest, so not the highest amount of impact, but any sort of combinations on the opposite side might not even be required because the gun, he's out of Coldest. The XM4 able to find two. Rion's right there to be able to find the third, and well, there's the space now provided. Coldest is able to find himself two there with a Hunter Killer drone. And now you've got the more favorable position, but again, look at the space that's not even there for XP. You got top plat control, just trying to play for the timing off of the angles being held over by Fences.
Now you know where UMG are coming from. Rogue Spawn coming through from Shisui. Does that disrupt things even slightly? I think it might do, actually. Some shots coming in from Shisui gives Dakota a chance towards the hard point. Unfortunately, none of those kills are going their way. Now just down to Noisy and Paredes. The latter is still alive. No longer the case. UMD fighting to keep XP out of the time, and as Shisui and Noisy combine for three, that is exactly what happens now. They will get the scrap. They will maintain their advantage at about 40 points or so. We go towards the next hard point. We know how competitive this one can be. Shisui trying to get some kills in the transition, catches both of those players off guards. That will make things easier, but Paredes has too much to do on the rotation. UG will be the first player to touch.
34 eliminations for Puedes. Here comes the combination Shisui was so patient for. Has the equalizer claw up top. Shisui looking to change positions. It's gonna go down bottom secret. They're not really aware of it, but you can feel the safety net because of the claw still operating over towards the P4 side. Puedes now, he gets himself in towards the mix there with the Tempest Death Machine to seal the deal at the end. Might be an over-investment, but it's 200 points nonetheless.
Yeah, at this point, you are just investing as much as possible to keep XP out of the time. Never mind what the time you're getting yourselves, and you're seeing that with the way that everything is now coming out to play for Unmythic Dream. Indra, you know where the player's going to be spawning from, and now all you're doing is burning through every single one. 2 kills for Indra. Unmythic Dream pushing forward. Shisui getting aggressive, looking for the third. Will be the night. That was a 5 spree for Kim. Unmythic Dream really starting to feel themselves now as they want to close out this game.
Yeah, they sure do. They can smell blood in the water, though XPE, they might have a resource advantage going back towards the center of the map. Is that enough? Is it going to be good enough? Because they just cannot find the kills. Puedes, he's up to 43 eliminations. This guy's been on fire in this series.
XP, get Indra out of this hill as quick as possible. EMP out. Indra gonna get taken down. No idea how they've got an EMP. That might just be a regular EMP. No, it actually is an EMP. I have no idea how that's happened. Regardless, XPE here now looking for something, whatever they possibly can get, with 16 points left away from victory. Rehan going to get the equals out. Is it going to get anything? No, you're denied. Shisui gets an easy peasy lemon squeezy frag on towards Yuji, and more going UMD's way. XPE, you got to go now, otherwise your tournament lives are over and the grand final is out of reach. They try to get in towards the hard point. 5 points away are UMD. Predator missile down from the heavens from Shisui. Yuji, the only one to find any value. Dakota, well, that could be the final blow. And it will be. UMD to the grand finals you go.